In the last episode, Mark refused to accept that it was not an accident, so the police attention turned towards Mark. However, in the community, people wouldn't believe that he could be a suspect. When the police did the background checking, there was no crime history on him. Police doing background checks on Mark. When the police investigated their children, they said there was no fight or argument between their parents. Mark kept insisting police that it was an accident. Mark telling the police it was an accident. Florence's parents blamed Mark for her murder. Florence's parents stated to the police that the reason for the suspect was motive, opportunity, method, no alibi, and the last person to see them alive. People believed that Mark and Florence were happily living together, but the fact is they were facing lots of problems and there were always arguments between them. It was found that 2 months ago both of them applied for divorce. So Florence entered into a new relationship and it was Mark's close friend. Not only that, Mark took $1 million life insurance on Florence. Mark and Florence always arguing. Both of them applying for divorce. Florence entering new relationship with Mark's friend. Mark taking life insurance policy in the name of Florence for $1 million. When neighbors and close friends of Florence were investigated, it was found that she was not interested and unwilling to go for this lake trip, and above all, she was scared to go with Mark. The resort manager came up with evidence and told the police that on the day of the incident when he said to Mark that he found Florence's body, without even asking where he found the body, Mark ran immediately to the boat launch, which means Mark already knew where Florence's body was lying. Whatever the evidence so far the police collected was only circumstantial. Mark running to check if Florence was dead. It means there was no link directly connected to the killer like DNA match and fingerprints. It was only situational, circumstantial evidence, which means the person was present at the time of the murder, but nobody saw the person killing, and there was none other than him and the victim. However, based on circumstantial evidence, it is not so easy to get the killer punished as per the law. So when the police were looking for direct evidence, they were able to get some information which connected Mark in this case. Police found a small stain of white paint on Mark's shoes. They took it and tested 8 different paint samples in the resort. The paint stain on the Mark shoe matched with one of the resort paint samples, and it was the deck rails paint. There could be no other logical reason other than he could have kicked the rails with his shoe. But why would Mark kick the deck railings? As per the evidence, police collected so far, the deck railings didn't break due to Florence's body weight. For the first time in history, immunohistochemistry, repair proteins, was used to crack this case, after she fell on the cement floor near the deck and became unconscious for almost an hour and a half. According to the autopsy report, it was found that she died due to drowning. The paint stains on the Mark shoe and other evidence pointed out that the Mark is the killer. 9 months after the death of Florence, Mark was arrested in this case. The prosecutors confirmed that on the day of the incident, Mark and Florence were standing on the deck and arguing about their divorce. Mark must have lost his temper and pushed Florence from the deck railing. Florence fell from 12 feet high, hit her head on the cement floor, and started bleeding profusely. As per evidence, Florence was alive for almost an hour and a half in an unconscious state. Mark went back to the cabin and put the children to bed. After an hour and a half, he came back to the boat launch thinking that Florence might have been dead. After seeing Florence alive, he was shocked. So he pushed her into the water nearby and left the place. He went to the deck and kicked the railings, causing damage to it. He staged the crime scene to show that Florence accidentally fell because the railings broke due to her body weight when she sat on the deck. He did not realize that when he kicked the railings, the paint stains stuck to his shoe. Finally, he was given a life sentence without parole. This episode, Bloody Vacation series, is dedicated to the police and the forensic department. A big salute to them.